This is not easy reading, so.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
I'm Nancy Kangas. I'm a librarian. I grow flowers for restaurants here in town. And I teach poetry and I write poetry. I've been writing poetry for 30 years.
So here she comes right now. Mwah! Then the music ended. All the men bowed and I curtsied. I held out my empty skirt that had been so full of spinning.
A long time ago, I figured out that I love having people write poems that aren't used to writing poems. I'm introducing poems and structure of poetry to them, and they put their voice inside of that structure and they hear themselves as poets, and it's magic. Most of my work has been sponsored by Ohio Arts Council's Arts Learning Program. Many years ago, Columbus Early Learning Centers was looking for an artist to come work with their kids. And so I started writing poems with these 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Kids who do not read, nor write, nor sit still. What do you want to turn yourself into?
I'm a huge big cloud.
I'm a huge big cloud. Tell me more.
Laying on my cloud bed.
One of my go-to poem books is, it's actually a song, May There Always Be Sunshine. I'll say, what do you want there always to be? And then they'll say, may there always be kangaroos. Yeah, what kangaroos doing what? Kangaroos tearing up the ceiling. Okay. And they see that whatever they're thinking is the right answer. I say, what you just said, yes. The next thing, yes. If you love a lion ripping up a car, that is also yes. Usually I'm scared of lions ripping up a car, and I actually can be honest and I'll say that sounds scary, but also yes, that's your idea, and I am writing it down. And that's when we all get excited. The child is like, I can't believe that. Most adults would say, no, you can't say that. And they feel it. They feel the power of their ideas being written down, and seeing me writing every little word and making sure that I get exactly what they said. I'm a huge big cloud laying on my cloud bed with my mommy. I had the habit of taking pictures of these poems and put them on social media. People were reacting to them just like I was. They would be struck with how awesome they were as well. One of the people was my friend Josh, who's a filmmaker, and he said, what if we made a film of this? And I thought, I never thought about that. That's like I never took it that far, but what if? 12 different families immediately said yes. We had them recite the very lines that they'd written. We managed to make everybody feel comfortable with the space and the lights and the fact that there's a microphone. All of that was fascinating to these 4 and 5-year-olds. Yeah, have a seat here, because this is kind of right exactly where the light wants to be, right here. Way, way loud there. And sometimes I'm gonna fly up high. We're gonna have to kind of shout this one. Should we practice shouting it? Sometimes I wanna be a superhero.
Sometimes I want to be a superhero.
Yeah, all right. Let's read it out loud and even louder.
I'm the future of the sky full of pink.
Of the middle of my life.
At the middle of my life.
And you are the future of the love star.
And you are the future of the love star.
Should we try that all together? I am the future of the sky of whole loving, of the middle of my life, and you are the future of the love star. Sometimes I would like to be a lion.
Sometimes I like to be a lion.
I would roar loud.
I would roar loud. Yeah! I would roar loud and just stand on the grass.
One of the reasons I do this is because I get to hear what the world is like for a 4-year-old, and I get to see the world through their eyes. Yeah. They're very much able to put themselves in places, and when they say I'm a lion, they are a lion, and they're gonna roar. You don't think of how much artistic energy is inside a 4-year-old, and I think that's all there. Each poem was a film, so we had a series of films here. We had the idea that the sound of the children reading their poems needed to be paired with animation. An animation would expand the words that the children are saying, elaborate on some of the ideas that are inside of the children's words. We sent out letters to about a dozen animators, some very skilled craftspeople. And we looked at all kinds of animation and found the ones that would match the children's reality, that match the children's fantastic way of thinking. Nearly everyone wrote back saying they loved this project, they would love to be part of it, and their fee was going to be in the range of somewhere around $20,000. It's a very time-consuming process because you need to make every one of those frames.
We're going to graduation today. Hi, ho, the day.
When I started about 15 years ago with Ohio Arts Council, people still had art teachers on staff. In this last couple of decades, it's not there at all. We just, took out a part of our gut and threw it over there and said, oh, I don't need that gut anymore. And then our Ohio Arts Council was coming along saying like, oh, I think you do. But here's a little piece of it back. They know in a big, big way that making art makes you human. It's how you listen, it's how you learn to use all your senses. And if you're using all your senses, you're aware and you're alive. These films are going to do all kinds of important things. They're going to show how important arts learning is. They're going to show the power and importance of the Ohio Arts Council's program. And they're going to have an impact on these kids themselves. These films are going to be moving and authentic and let us see the world through 4-year-olds' eyes. I've never asked for this kind of money before. I've never done a Kickstarter. I don't plan on doing another Kickstarter in my life, but I believe in this project. You don't do a lot of things in your life that are as beautiful and powerful and weird and funny all at the same time.